I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a cattle market summary for the week ending October the 28th, brought to you in part by the International Brangus Breeders Association. Would you like more pounds of cattle at market time? Brangus influenced cattle have proven to offer more pounds at weaning without compromising udder quality on your replacement females. IBBA encourages you to go Brangus. For more information or to find a breeder near you, visit gobrangus.com. We're facing a week of truth this week as we come in. We've had two big up weeks after a giant crash, and we really need one more to kind of continue this and let everybody exhale a little bit and quit worrying about the market quite so much and start having a lot more optimism going up. But it looks like we've got a strong case for an improved market for a while. It's not going to go back to the moon or anything like that, but some strong, steady improvement and a little bit of hope for some good times to come as we go on forward. Look at your board this week. Live cattle futures for December. Monday was up 237. Tuesday down 35, Wednesday up 50, Thursday up 75, and Friday down 80. To end the day or end the week on Friday at 104.35 for your December, which was $2.48 higher for the week. Feeder cattle, your November contract, Monday was up 282, Tuesday up 12 cents, Wednesday up $1.27, Thursday down a nickel, and Friday down 232. To end the week at 121.55, $1.85 higher for the week. Most of your trades going to January feeders now, and they ended the week at $1.16 even. But you look at your October spot feeders went off the board at 121.84 was where the CME feeder cattle index was at. 121.84 was really through Thursday sales. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central all the way through Friday and Saturday sales is at 122.37, but now we've got a shakeup. Now we've got November being the spot market, and we've got new weights to base our feeder cattle contract off of. And instead of being a 750 pound base weight ranging from 650 to 849, now we're going to have an 800 pound base weight on our feeder cattle contract running from 700 to 899. So your real-time index will also make those changes here this week and begin to reflect and continue to be about a day ahead of what your CME feeder cattle index is. Look at your fat cattle market for the week. We did have some trade there earlier in the week, not a whole lot, but some higher trade there early in the week to kind of get us going. But then Friday really broke loose and had some good trade there, mostly at 105 and all in 4 of your 5 major feeding regions. Iowa was running a little bit behind from 102 to 103, but this time of year especially, Iowa always has a hard time keeping up with the market. But in most of your areas, 105 was $5 higher. It was actually $7 higher in the Texas Panhandle, which doesn't have hardly any cash negotiated trade at all. But your dress trade was really encouraging, mostly at 164 there late in the week, which was $4 to as much as $10 higher. But it'll be interesting to see what these weighted averages are coming out here early in the week. Box beef cutout values for last week ended on kind of a positive note for the first time, and we're now starting to see the signs that our cutout values are going to start to improve like they normally do this time of year, which it might be kind of short-lived, but at least get kind of a little bit of a support underneath them. But your average sale on your choice carcasses was 182 even for the week, which was up 201. Selects at 168.70, which was down just 83 cents. But we look like we have made the transition to start moving back upwards. Slaughter had a big slaughter last week, and real encouraging that they're continuing to keep that slaughter level so heavy and continue to start cleaning up these cattle more and more. But ended the week with estimated slaughter of 613,000 with a big 45,000 head kill on Saturday. That 613 was 11,000 more than last week and 58,000 more than the same week a year ago. Your year-to-date slaughter is now a full 5% more year-to-date, and hog slaughter, even though it's been at all-time record levels, is only 1.4% more. But we're producing a lot protein, and a lot of it on the market there. Cash feeder cattle markets, of course, they started out moderately higher, but then just kept getting higher. But pretty much you can catch all of the improvement from $5 to $10 higher on both feeder cattle and calves. Your auction volume continues to run light. It was 19% lighter than the same week a year ago, which shows that these sellers are still not liking the market. But our pasture quality and really the moisture we've had and the forage is a lot better than what we've been used to for the last several years in most all regions. So everybody's got some fall grass. Everybody's got a lot of hay stockpiles, and they're just not in that big a hurry to sell them because they're just not really liking the market. They'd try to squeeze as much as they can out of this. There's a lot of cattle to sell out there. I said before on there, not as high a percentage of cattle as the last several years sold on a big video this year. So a lot of those cattle that we'll be shipping here in the next month or so are still in loose hands, and a lot of them will just take them to the sale barn. Sale barn always sees improved receipts when the market is really, really good and really, really bad. Well, we're still in that really, really bad part, but it's where your producers will just take your cattle to the sale barn and dump them out and shut their eyes and hope for the best. And like this past week, they saw some big improvements. They ended up getting more money than what they had hoped for, so most of them were happy. But and a lot of these feeder buyers have short memories. We say it every time, but coming back up there and giving some big prices for $1.40 for some of these 8 weights. I heard around up in the Midwest and places like that, and that's just spelling disaster again. But your guys that get out there and get out front, they've usually got a lot of cattle when the market gets good. But we should continue to see some improvement in these big volume sales here early this week. Probably not as drastic as the 5 to 10 higher that we saw in last week's sales. And nobody really quite sure why the feeder board really dumped on Friday, other than just profit taken from those traders. But you might be under a little spell, but we should see some decent dollars improvement here in your early week high volume sales. Look at Cattle Market Central there in a market report out of Lexington, Nebraska. You can see, don't pay much attention to the yearling weights because there's not enough volume there to really show anything. But on your big calf weights from 400 to 700 pounds, you see your steers are ranging mostly steady to $3 higher, and that's a Friday sale. And your heifers are running $7 to $12 higher there. Could be some competition from some replacement buyers there on some of those really top quality ranch strings that come in. But you look at Cattle Market Central and you can see a lot of those market reports as they come together, and as soon as the sale's over you can see the whole report rather than waiting for the next day. But if you're interested in more in Cattle Market Central, go on to cattlemarketcentral.com, get your login, go through there, scroll through there and look at everything it has to offer. If you've got a sale barn market you'd like to have it listed, we'd love to put you in there on our more than 100 sales that we're quoting from across the nation there. Go to dvauction.com and check out the list of sales that are coming up. A lot of big production sales are already being scheduled for this spring, and that spring schedule is getting stacked up. So if you've got a production sale coming up this spring, and a lot of you do, it's not too early and it's time to get it consigned, because we've got that schedule getting packed, and we need to make sure we've got everybody lined up and get the videos done if they need that, and everything else to get lined out for this busy spring production sales schedule. But from my DV Auction home office here in Canyon, Texas, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.